Hello and welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. As always, I'm your host, Kelby Bachman, and please give it up for the next guest on the show, Tanner Kampen. So Tanner is from Humboldt, Iowa, where he was a three-time state qualifier and two-time place winner for the Wildcats, finishing third as a junior and winning it all as a senior. He spent the next 2 years at Iowa Central, finishing fifth as a sophomore to claim All-American status. And actually, the 2009 team he was on was recently inducted into the Iowa Central Athletics Hall of Fame. Life after Iowa Central got rocky for Tanner, but he's found a way to grind through it all and become the best version of himself. Tanner now lives in Fort Dodge, Iowa with his 3 kids, and he recently completed an IRONMAN. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy Tanner Kampen. In the heart of West Union, Iowa, lies a hidden gem in Euphoria Coffee. Owned by local residents Nicole and Shane Havenstreit, they source everything they can from local vendors. From hot and iced drinks, to savory breakfast burritos, to baked goods, to botany tea, and even homemade waffles, Euphoria Coffee is a place your entire family can enjoy. You can find more information at drinkeuphoria.coffee2go.com or visit their Facebook page. And we also have a special gift just for you. Next time you stop in, you can get a free baked good with a $20 purchase. Just mention the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. Euphoria Coffee. Our purpose is deeper than coffee. What's up with you?
Oh, not much, man. Just another busy weekend.
Doing
Just
what?
right. Oh, my wife and I, we bought old historic home
Ooh.
last year here in Fort Dodge, Iowa. So we been renovating it and putting our little touch to it. So I painted our foundation yesterday. We redid the mud room. I grew up in a construction family, so it's kind of like something. I stay busy.
Gotcha. Is this a plug for you to like, hey, hire me to do construction work at your home?
Um, no, not really. I do some roofs here and there, but I haven't for a while. So no, I grew up doing it, and it's just what you see from what you grew up with, you kind of do as well. So I
Yeah.
like it. Keeps me busy. I don't like to sit too much.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
how are you gonna enjoy sitting right now for like an hour and a half?
it's okay. My mind's racing thinking. So you when you messaged me on Instagram was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You kind of had me thinking about my childhood and growing up and the way wrestling has impacted it and stuff. And it's crazy because I don't really ever think of that stuff. I think a lot of about when I got out of college. I used to think a lot of that past as I am getting older and moving forward. But you really dipped into something that is good for me to look back on, and reflect.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So about your childhood growing up in a construction family, like was your family like they have like camp and construction or something?
Yeah, it was camping construction,
Oh, look at me.
yeah, yeah.
Lucky
Hit it
guess.
right on, hit the nail right on the head. Yeah, so we lived in between Humboldt and Fort Dodge, right in the middle, right on that school district line. I have 2 older sisters. They went to senior high in Fort Dodge. My younger brother
Oh,
went to Fort Dodge. I'm the only one who went to Humboldt. So
why?
my dad's from Humboldt. My mom's from Fort Dodge. Um, so I'm not sure. We had they have a good wrestling community up there in Humboldt, and they do it also in Fort Dodge, as you know. So at the time, I just went to Humboldt. I was in a little wrestling group up there, and yeah, I liked it up there. We lived on a farm. We had some livestock, and my dad was always busy with construction. So yeah.
So you said you have 2 older sisters. Were they going to Fort Dodge the same time you were going to Humboldt?
No, so my sisters graduated from senior high in the middle, late 90s.
Okay. Okay.
So,
And what about your brother? Was he going to Fort Dodge at the same time?
no, my brother is 8 years younger than I am.
Oh wow, so you
So
guys are spread out.
yeah, we were all spread out. Yep. So he went to Fort Dodge mainly for baseball.
Yeah, I
Um,
did see that.
so he was a big baseball guy, and they had some talent down here, and it's a couple coaches, and he was getting some personal training down here through Iowa Central and senior high. So he navigated down here.
Nice. Yeah, the only reason I was wondering is like how that would work when you have sporting events or you have, and they have events and you're in Humboldt, they're in Fort Dodge, but it sounds like that didn't happen. So, how far were you from Humboldt? How far of a
Yep.
drive was it to school?
7 miles.
Okay.
7 miles from Humboldt and 10 miles from Fort Dodge.
Okay.
So
So where exactly did you live? What was your address?
it was 10:30. What was it?
I
Langston
don't need the
Avenue.
whole I don't need the whole address, just like
Right
what
on. It
city.
was
I
right
need.
on 169.
Okay.
169. It's just right on 169. So
Okay. So were you Humboldt or Fort Dodge address then?
we were Humboldt.
Oh, you were Humboldt. Okay. So
Yep.
did you have to open enroll to Fort Dodge?
I didn't go to Fort Dodge.
But
So
like, did your siblings? Do you know?
um no. My brother, my family moved to Fort Dodge. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yep. Because my dad got out of the construction business when I graduated high school, and he went into John Deere sales. So
Nice. Okay. Did
yeah,
um did he employ a lot of the wrestlers in the summertime to help him with construction?
yeah. So at one point we had all state champions roofing houses.
Nice. Was one of them not quite the worker that you expected him to be? Because like when we think of wrestlers, we're like, man, they're hard nosed, grindstone. Was one of them like, what's this guy even doing here?
Um, that's funny that you say that. So I've done a few roughs. It's been a while, but I've had a couple wrestlers help me, and just was kind of like I don't know. But at that time, I was the young, the runt of the group, and we had Justin Hansen was helping. We had Wade Saturn, Luke Saturn,
Okay.
myself, Frank Marchant. Um, it was yeah, no, it was those guys. Everyone wanted to outwork each other, so
Yeah.
no, it wasn't like that.
Did the Saturns have their own? I feel like they had their own company as well, but maybe they have it now, maybe not back then. I feel like the Saturns had some.
Um, Luke worked for Saturn Exteriors for a
Oh,
long
there you go.
time, so I
Okay.
think is his cousin. And I think
Oh,
I think he might be a salesman for them now.
okay.
I know Wade worked at Elanco for quite some time. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but yeah.
Olanco, so he was selling vet supplies.
I'm not sure. Luke was selling roofs and siding
Mhm.
and gutters and stuff for Saturn Exteriors.
Gotcha.
Wade worked at the labs for a long time. So
Nice. My wife works in that industry, so then when you said that, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
oh, I know that.
yeah,
I know that word. She worked there for 5 years as a sales rep. So
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, Luke and Wade, they were really close to my family. They were young when they started working for my dad, and they're really respectful people. They worked very hard, so um, they were kind of like helped me progress as a wrestler and stuff, and throughout my life. So
yeah. How much older were they than you?
Luke was 2 years older than me,
Okay.
and I think Wade, I think was 5.
Okay. So when did you start getting into wrestling then? Like did your dad wrestle or was it a family thing or was it just something you did that was just
My dad wrestled, I think, a little bit, but not a whole lot. So he was raised in a big farming livestock family, so he was always
okay.
working. He worked a
Yep.
lot. Um, but I think tried wrestling in second grade, and I got headlocked, so I quit. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. That was no fun. But then in sixth grade, I went back out, or fourth grade. It was fourth grade. I went back out and stuck with it. Got beat up all the time, and just stayed with it. Really, I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't. It was hard to think about, like so for me for wrestling, it wasn't. I liked having like something to work for and strive for, and I
Hmm.
wasn't the best. So every time was an opportunity to grow on someone and to try and beat them. And after, first year or two, I started to really progress because, I mean, who I was practicing with, I mean, you're going to get beat up or you're going to get better. There's only two ways. That's it.
Hmm.
So
And you chose the get better way.
yeah, it was to go to practice and do that or kind of work on the farm, so yeah.
Ah, what kind of farm did you have?
We so we have Camping Club lambs up in Humboldt.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
so I showed livestock in the summertime, and we had some lambs. We did lambing, and yeah,
Nice.
you know.
And so, what club were you rolling around with? Was it just like the Humboldt Wrestling Club?
So I think it was called the Wildcat Club. They just started that. And then Scott Saturn, Wade and Luke's dad, he had
Mhm.
the USA Club.
Mhm.
And then we would go to TRV to that club over there. So
Oh, how far away were you from them?
10 minutes from Humboldt.
Wow.
So so Matt
They
and
were
Marty,
good.
yeah, they were good. They were. There's a lot of kids in that area that just all worked out together. I mean, we had a bunch of them. So
Yeah. Sorry, were you gonna say something about Matt Boynton?
yeah, so Matt moved over from I think it's Livermore, Twin River Valleys. He came over to Humboldt, and we started going to middle. We had in middle school, we were going to middle school practice, to the high school practice, and over to TRV for another practice. That's what we did, and then we
How many
wrestled.
days a week?
I think it was. I don't remember thoroughly, but it was a lot. Then we wrestle on the weekends. Sometimes Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes we go up to Emmitsburg. And practice with the Kerbers and
Oh my
Sundells. And,
gosh.
and Scott Saturn was big into getting a bunch of kids to practice together. Then as we got a little older, Marshall Cothey moved down, and he was a good training partner. We had like Nate Toole around and Jordan Hazenkamp, and so we had the people, we had the
Yeah.
kids. So that's why when you were talking about Mark, I was like, I think I missed him. I think I missed working out with him or being a part of like what his Nick, just a little, like I was a little after him probably.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm kind of envious, maybe not envious, but I kind of wish I was a little more aware because like that time I was, 10, 11, 12. I'm a 2010 grad, so a couple years younger than you, but I wasn't quite as well versed in like Emmitsburg. Like you knew the name, but gosh, now you're just listing off all these dudes and you're like, man, Marshall
yeah,
Colthy. Like you don't like you forget about him in a moment, but then when someone brings him up, you're like, oh man, yeah, I
he's
remember him. And
yeah,
like that little pod of Iowa, that kind of like north central, maybe a little northwest central Iowa, like they were so tough.
they were good. They were good.
Yeah. And you guys kind of reaped the benefits a little bit of being in that pod because Humboldt was good. Like
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it started in 1908 with Frank Gotch.
1908?
Yeah, he's a heavyweight world champion 1908. Frank
Oh my
Gotch,
gosh.
you know. And then, I don't know if you read the book Gotch the Gable,
Not
but
yet. No, but
you know,
who
you know,
wrote that? I know who wrote it.
chap I met him. I don't remember, but back in high
Yeah,
school,
yep.
we would have these we would get to go to like a lot of these speeches of like Gable, and he would speak at like these I don't know, these conventions, like character counts things, and he would
Mhm.
tell a story, and it was pretty cool. I don't know if because he student taught in Humboldt, in his senior year at
Oh,
Iowa
I didn't know
State.
that. No.
So before he while he's training for Olympics, because he lost to was it Jesse Owens, you know, and then he went and student taught and cleared his head. He worked out at the I think it was the basement of the cop shop back in the day in the 70s. So yeah, it's pretty cool. The history of wrestling in Humboldt's pretty neat, and
Yeah.
when you think about it. So, and that's I haven't really thought about it for a while, but you brought it up. I'm like, wow, yeah, it really started at a long time ago.
1908. I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
I was like, wow. And yeah,
yeah.
they just had a dresser from there. And so they just had the duel. Did you attend that duel a couple of years ago? It was a
I
few years
didn't.
ago.
I
Yeah.
didn't attend that duel, but if they do have another one, I'm sure I'll be at that one. So
Yeah.
yeah, my dad went it. So
Really?
yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big deal. You got Tony Ursulin and Kevin Dresser. And It's pretty neat. And Kevin Dresser and his brother Dan, at the time when I was a senior, he was, I think, a coach in Ankeny. I'm not sure what he's up to now, but he they would put a camp on, and I would work out with Kevin a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember how old he was at the time, but I was like, wow, 18 at Limber, but dang.
Yeah. When did you start taking off with wrestling?
I think about seventh, eighth grade, I started picking it up. I
Hmm.
would go in stride. So I think it was fourth or fifth. I was, you know, getting beat quite a bit. And then, I used to wrestle Matt Boynton at tournaments all the time. And every time I was a kid, I'd go there and I have to wrestle him. I'm like,
Yep.
damn it, you know? And it's like,
Yeah.
dang it. And this was all the time. And I beat him. It just kept getting closer and closer. And then the rest is history. Then we became good friends and training partners, and then it just kept going on. And then, like, my senior year of high school, I wrestled Matt Stillman. I think it was 4 times that year,
Really?
3 times, and then my freshman year of college, I wrestled TJ Moen. I think it was 3 or 4 times that year. You know, so but yeah, I think I took off in strides. I think sixth, seventh, I got pretty lot better than what I was, and then my junior and senior year, I grew a lot too myself.
Yeah. Were you still doing other sports around this time or?
Yeah, so the thing I would put in 100% wrestling when it was wrestling, but I had a dirt bike track in my house.
Oh, okay.
You know I had friends. Matt again. We had his dirt bike just stayed at my house, and I had like 5 other friends, and they bring their dirt bikes over, and we just ride dirt bikes
Mhm.
in the summertime, play baseball. I didn't do a whole lot of wrestling in the summertime, but Fort Dodge was open to, uh, had a lot of freestyle open mats. So
Did you do anything competitively with dirt bikes or
no, not
no?
really. Just riding a lot.
Yeah.
Did the OHV here in town. I played football. We won state my junior year in football.
Really?
So
Nice.
I was pretty invested in the football.
Yeah.
The grade above me was just freak athletes. They were just so good and big. But they only had one like pretty good wrestler. That's it. But he was a linebacker at UNI, Jordan Smith, and he got third and fifth at high school in wrestling. So
It's pretty good.
yeah, no, he was good. He was,
Yeah.
so
And even like when I start to think about, okay, playing football, you and I, like that takes some talent too. Like at first, growing up, you thought you and I was kind of, you know, I don't know, below, but then as you get
Mhm.
older, you get a little wiser and you're like, dang, these kids are going to you and I and they're like, they're good. So
Oh
it
yeah.
takes some talent to play football at you and I.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Smith, he was a linebacker at UNI. Then Tyler Nielsen, he was a linebacker at Iowa. They're both on the same team. So,
Oh,
and then you got, I think, Cody Huntermark was a lineman for Iowa. I mean, this is all from the same class.
wow.
It's absurd. Yeah.
And you couldn't get them out for wrestling though?
No, not wrestling. No, a few of them tried, you
Yeah.
know, you know, because they probably were told, wrestling's good,
Yeah.
as it is.
Yeah. Um, so you took off your eighth grade years when I kind of saw a big peak was when you won your AAU state title, which like I know it's not like that's not the end all be all but it's an accomplishment, especially
Yes.
back in that day. And I don't want to say anything about today, but back then winning an AAU state title was a big deal. Like that cemented yourself as like one of the top kids in the state.
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool because I came from kind of the bottom and just worked and got myself to the top, and I remember going to the state tournament. Like, I used to get really, I wasn't a very, I was very, I'd say, humble, but I didn't express my feelings a whole lot. And my parents were like, "You're gonna do it. You're doing it." Because they
Mhm.
knew I wanted to do it, but I was like, I don't know, I don't want to lose.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I ended up just doing it, and I won. And that's just part of, it's part of the journey.
Yeah. I mean, have you gone back and looked at like your bracket? I mean, probably not because again, it's AAU, but still like the memories are kind of fun to look back on. I think like Trent Weatherman won the bracket above you. Like there were just studs peppered all throughout that time, that era, that weight class. I
Yeah.
mean, and so like you're right there among them. So that just has to be pretty neat,
Yeah.
accomplishment that all your work that you put on, you quit, you went back out, you weren't very good to come out with a state title in eighth grade, just shows the progress you made. I know I'm on
Yeah.
a tangent here. Sorry.
What's that?
I said I'm on a tangent here. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, no, it is. It's neat looking back and seeing all these names and especially like some of them they were like winning state every year and then all of a sudden nothing and it's just kind of it's interesting to see how everyone's journey is. Everyone's
Yeah.
different. They got their
Yeah.
own path that they got to create. So
Mhm. That's why I
yeah,
do this. That's why
yeah,
I do this is because everyone has a different path, and um, I love to hear what that path is.
yeah.
So then, going into your freshman year, did you have a boatload of confidence then after winning a state title and you know
Um, no, I never had a lot of confidence. I never was like,
really
I got this. I'm going in here. I was just, I knew I had a practice coming up that I had someone that I just didn't want to get my ass beat. I had to do something. I had to figure it out. I had to figure this out every practice. And because there's a battle in there. Because, believe it or not, some people, they don't take it easy on you. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And the progress it's real. It happened. And, I remember Luke and Wade, they would beat me up all the time, but Wade was in the basement watching my videos as I was, in middle school and high school. So, and Bobby Thompson was our head coach our freshman year. And he was young at the time. So he was getting in there and getting active. And
hmm
he was ruthless. So great guy.
yeah, yeah, that's cool that okay, you get beat up in practice by somebody, but then they're willing to come over and watch film with you or talk to you afterwards. Like, it's they're actively also trying to get you better, even though they just thumped you in practice,
That's all they want you to do is get better.
Yeah.
It's all it is. It's nothing personal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just how it is. And that's how I had to learn too. I mean, I wasn't
Mhm.
going to get any better unless it happened. So,
Yeah. How did you start your high school career? When did you start to sort of figure it out in high school?
uh, well, I started, let's see, freshman year. I think I lost like 10 times that year. Um, I had to wrestle Marquis quite a few, like 3 or 4 times that year. That didn't turn out. I had one close match with him. It was at Humboldt. And I think he just pinned me or something at the Eagle Grove invite or something happened. And then I was like, all right, great. Now I got to wrestle Mark at home. And you're like, oh no. But so I remember going to, warm ups and just thinking, like, I'm just not even going to let this bother me. I'm just going to hang out. And actually ended up taking him into overtime. And it was a good match. So that kind of opened my eyes to, things are possible, even though because as a freshman, you're always like, these kids are so much bigger and older and
Mhm.
stronger and stuff. I was 120 some pounds cutting to 112. So it wasn't that much fun. Um,
Right.
but we got through it and I made it to state and I went 0-2 barbecue that year. Uh, I think Seabolt won my bracket for his
Gotcha.
fourth. Yeah, I think maybe it was his third state title. So
Nice. O2 barbecue though, huh?
yeah, 0-2 barbecue.
Yeah.
But
See?
it was the last year at the vets and I made it and that was cool. That's
Y-
was able to make wrestle
Yes.
there and then switch over to the event center. So
Yes. Yes. Oh, Vats. Ugh. Never forget that place.
yeah, so when I was a couple years younger and I watched Wade Saturn win his state title, and it was and Justin Hansen, and it was that's when I was kind of like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I kind of grew up like working on the farm a lot, and then we started going to my dad started taking me to these events, and then I started to kind of put two and two together, like this is what this is all for. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, did you cut a lot of weight then your eighth grade year? Because you won it at 105. So did you just grow that year to like 125 or whatever?
I didn't cut much. I don't think maybe 5 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm guessing 5 to 8,
Right.
maybe. You
Yeah.
know, having Jolly Ranchers, spitting it in a cup or whatever, all the way to Cedar Rapids.
Oh man, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Um,
Yeah.
no, I grew my freshman year about I was about 120. And then I grew significantly throughout my high school career. So
Yeah. Were
I
you still playing
stopped
baseball at this time?
I quit baseball my sophomore year
Okay.
and started working. So
Okay. Sorry, what were you gonna say? You stopped what?
I think I stopped growing my junior, senior year.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because you were 140, 145 at that point.
yeah, I was 130 my sophomore year, 140 my junior year, 145 my senior year.
So you jumped from 112 to 130.
I did.
Did you not cut any weight that in that year or
Not as much, no.
okay.
No.
How was that year for you? Because now you have a taste. Now you have that taste of state and you're like, oof, I just,
Yeah, and I didn't make it. I didn't make the state my sophomore year. And I watched people I was beating make it, and
that's always tough.
I had to wrestle Brian Swindell a lot from
Mm.
Emmitsburg
Yeah, he was
back
good.
then. And we had good matches every time. So I just, lost.
Yeah. Was that districts? Did you make it to districts or
I believe it's sectionals. I don't think I made it out of sectionals.
man, you
I
guys
think
must have had a tough sectional.
I think I lost, and then I was like, yeah, I was pouty and went back
Yeah.
out and lost again because someone else wasn't.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Hey, no shame in that. I mean, that when you're 15, 16 years old and I mean, something like that happens, yeah, it's hard to process it at times. I've had people on who have had success and been like, all right, I'm gonna get the next best thing. And I've had people who, there's like no magic secret to, how to come back from that. I mean,
no, you don't know what the psychological things going on in
right.
some kids' heads and some people. I mean, some people are ready to be done.
Were
They're
you?
over it. You think? I I I, I think so. I think I was like I mean, being at state, like, of course I wanted to be there and wrestle and stuff, but like, did it really bother me a whole lot? Nah, I mean, not really. I mean, I didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I would a lot of matches I'd lose it, but it would be fine. Like I wasn't like I never threw like fits. I never was like bawling like a baby. I wasn't one of them kids. It happened.
Yeah.
All right, now what? What's going on now?
Mhm.
So yeah, it happened. Look back on it now, it's like, come on, Tanner, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. But what about then? You must have did you just put your head down and grind then? Because I mean, to come out at third, if I remember right, so you were actually that junior year, you were in the bracket with my brother, and
Okay.
he told me he's like, I think he pinned everybody except for Cody Stanley.
Yeah, yeah. I think I teched him or pinned him. I That year, I grew a lot. I think I wised up when it came to training and to what the whole point was. Get a better mindset, and I just started grinding. I mean, lift weights in the morning, take it serious. Don't go through the motions as much because you can go through the motions and go to practice and have really good practice partners and maybe grow a little bit. But I mean, if you
Mhm.
actually invest and take it serious, you could go a long ways. You have all the
Yeah.
tools in the shed.
Yeah. Were you at this time, were you like traveling for practice and stuff? Were you going to like club practices with Matt Boynton or a buddy or something, or were you just going by yourself? Or how did you get better?
Yeah, so we would go to Gilmore City a lot. We'd have some kids from Pocahontas come over. We went to
Jeez.
Fort, we went to Fort Dodge a lot,
Yeah.
and Fort Dodge was stacked too. I mean, Iowa Central was here too. So like my senior year, we come here in Iowa Central. Um, so I mean, yeah, we drove a lot, did a lot of wrestling.
Did you drive or who drove?
It's when we were younger. Scott Saturn drove a lot. And
Yeah.
then when we got older, we would, as kids, all drive
But
together.
but there was a lot of fun times going on in those vehicles.
Oh yeah, yeah, good times.
Were you the goofball?
No, I was not the
No.
goofball. No, it wasn't me. I was more relaxed in the corner, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, were you just on a mission then that junior year? Because I mean, gosh, I'm trying to see what your record was. I think you were like 39-3. It was like you just
Yeah, I we had a good room. Coach Beeman was our coach. I think we had Kurt Zinnel in there helping us, and we had a lot of people in there to help us grow. And yeah, I mean, it was time. It was that time, So
I mean, it's difficult to pin slash tech everybody at the state tournament, because it's not like you wrestled four. I think you wrestled what, 6 matches? I mean,
yeah, it's kind of like how it was it for my senior nationals too. I tend to always make it the hardest for some reason. I think a lot of it has to do with my psychological.
mhm,
Um, I get in my head a lot,
yeah,
and my senior year I didn't. After that, I didn't really get in my head a lot, and I grew out of that. So
mhm,
um, once I was like, I'm just gonna do my thing, and that's what's gonna be. I'm not gonna be so technical on this.
mhm.
So
Had you wrestled Cody Stanley before
no,
or that year? No.
yeah, you caught me in a cradle.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Okay, so there's a question for you. How did you then, that shows your mental growth, your psychological growth. Like, how did you bounce back after that? Like, he caught you in a cradle. Now you're going on the backside, and, you could either, do what happened your sophomore year or show growth and get the next best thing.
Yeah, so that's how I grew. I was like, all right, well, not gonna win state like he'd like to. So now what? It doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna go out there and wrestle hard, and
Hmm.
that's what happened. And if you have that mindset, I think that's crucial for kids these days. They need that mindset just to whatever you're doing, do your thing. Just do it.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. But wrestling's really good when it comes to personal space and your own mind because it's just you and one other person and people are watching. That's huge. And that's what I love. I do love like individual. I mean, not saying just wrestling's individual because it is team, but I mean, it's your success is based off like how you do you,
Right.
you
Hmm.
know, and that's after that, I was like, I'm not, yeah, we're just gonna go out there and wrestle hard. I mean, if you get caught, you get caught. Just wrestle your thing, do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you did your thing. I
Yeah,
mean, running it back and getting third and um
I think I did something similar
yeah.
my senior year as well, besides the finals.
Oh, really? You pinned everybody
No, I think
or
I
teched?
checked, yeah, or did something similar to that too.
Gosh, what was it like wrestling Stillman in the finals again? Like a similar opponent. I mean, that can kind of go one of two ways. You can either have all the confidence in the world, or you can tense up and be like, "Ah, got this kid again. I've wrestled him like 4 times. I mean, oh, you know.
So, so I think I did I pin him at sectionals, and then I majored him at districts or something, and then at state I was super reserved. I was just reserved. I was like, I just wrestle, like
Hmm.
just win. And that's how I shouldn't have done it, because now I look back on that match, I'm like, people want to see a wrestling match, let's do it,
Yeah.
and that's why I liked watching Kyler Sanderson wrestle.
Hmm.
Like he'd lose, but like he just wrestled, man, and it was a consistent battle. Andrew Long was big into that too.
Yeah.
Just wrestled. I mean, I liked it. I mean, so, but no, I just preserved on that match. Which I shouldn't have been, but
Yeah. That I mean, well, I think you took him down twice. I just watched the match, but I mean, it seemed like you were in control of that match, the whole time, you know.
yeah, yep,
So,
he was a great guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You said you didn't show a lot of emotion. You showed some emotion. after that win.
Yeah, I was proud. I was proud of myself, because I don't know, mentally, I just feel like I've come over a few things, and there's just like after that, it was like, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Something you can live with forever.
Yeah. Where is your bracket?
My dad has it at his house in the basement, the gym.
Oh, okay. Does he have it like hanging up or something or?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, cool. I've
What
talked
about-
to people and I've always wondered, after I talk to them, like, gosh, yeah, what do you do with those things? Because they're massive.
They
Like,
are.
so like what, you got to find a space for them, but like, where do you put it in your house?
Uh, Funny story. So my dad was doing some remodeling work at Tony Urslin's parents back in the day when I was a kid, little kid. And there's these big brackets in the basement. I think it was like 91, 92 or something.
Mhm.
And he's like, "That's the state championship bracket." I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." There's in his base in their basement. I don't know where they are now.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Do you remember losing your contact in the match against Stillman in the finals?
Now I do.
I was
Um,
watching that and I saw you lose your contact, and I was like, dude, if I lost my contact, I'd be in big trouble.
yeah. Did I put it back in or I gave it to my coach?
No, you gave it to your coach. And I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know how I'd be able to wrestle without my contact. It would be difficult because now
It's
you
a
got
lot.
two different eyes,
I wish I would have
basically.
done that in college because I got so funny story. At Iowa Central wrestling in practice, wrestling. I think I was wrestling like Troy Bennett. He's one of our coaches.
Yeah.
And we're just grinding each other, and then my contact fell out. I put it back in, and then my eyes started getting all red and hurting, and I actually got herpes on my eye, on my cornea.
What?
Yeah, it was terrible. Then it like turned to shingles. I just sit out sometime where sunglasses like inside everywhere. I had to go to the eye doc, like the Wolf Eye Clinic. It was a bad deal.
Wow.
So if anyone listens to this, don't do that. Don't, because that happened to me all the time. The contact, and sometimes I tried putting it in, and if I couldn't, I just, because my eyes. I mean, they're not terrible, but
Mhm.
you always want to be able to see good.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you clean it first, you bring out some solution and clean it before you put it back in, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I saw that happen. It happened pretty much right away almost. And I was like, man, yeah, like I said, if that were to happen to me, like I think I'm nearsighted, but it still would be kind of foggy and it wouldn't have been good. So,
yeah,
not only did you win, you won it with one eye, kind of.
yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of. Um, when did recruiting sort of pick up for you? Because after that you wrestled at this Dream Team Classic and you won a match there, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're committing to Iowa. I mean, things really kind of took off for you there.
Yeah, they did. After my senior year, Wartburg came over a few times. Millboy came, and I sat with them quite a few times and talked to them. And then I went to Buena Vista, talked to Mark Schwab. He was the head coach there. Went on a few visits. And then Iowa Central obviously was recruiting. And then after the Dream Team match, a lot of things, I had, Tom Brands came to my house and we sat in our kitchen and we talked to him for a while, and I mean, as a kid, that's like your dream. Like that's what you're doing is you want to wrestle at Iowa or Iowa State or something, and that's kind of what I was focused on wanting to do. So that's when I committed there.
Yeah, I mean, when you have somebody like that in your living room, I mean, it's kind of hard to say no, you know?
Yeah, and he came and he sits down and he's like, "What do you think about fighting?" Like, and I'm just like, I was
Fighting?
fighting. I was like, I don't know, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll fight. I guess, it's a wrestling room. I don't know, what to tell you. But yeah, I went to school. He came. So Iowa City's like 3 hours away. He came to Humboldt before I went to school, and then I went to school after. So he must have gotten up at 3 or so and drove all
Jeez.
the way over there. And I don't
Wow.
remember if that was after senior nationals or before. Because I did all right at senior nationals. I didn't place, but I lost my first match So I was done for that day. Then I came back the second day and I wrestled, I think, 6 or 7 matches straight.
Wow.
And then it was the next day was a medal round and I lost. So
Jeez. Well, yeah,
yep.
that's impressive there, you know.
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest like grinding days I've had of wrestling. It was continuous.
Hmm.
We were there all day. But
When you get a call from somebody or an in-home visit from somebody like Tom Brands, I mean, does that kind of open your eyes to like the potential that you didn't think you had, but now since somebody else has kind of shown it in you, you're like, wow, I didn't think I could wrestle at that level, but these guys believe in me, so I think I can, you know?
so my thing was is like I knew if I wanted to do something I could do it.
Okay.
Like I could, but did you want to do you want to? Like I
Yeah.
know that the path is tough and it's hard, but like do you really like is this what you want to do? You know what I mean? So that
Hmm.
was always my question for myself. It was always one I was always second guessing myself on it if that's really what I wanted. So
So how did you end up at Iowa Central then? Did you go to Iowa for a year and then go to Iowa Central?
no, so I ended up not going to Iowa, and I ended up just after senior nationals, I ended up just going to Iowa Central. I started going up there in the room in the summer,
Hmm.
and then before school started, Colby Covington was up there training a lot. He was trying to go to Iowa or something, and I think he ended up going to Oregon State.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I went up there and worked out, and just liked it. Coach Moffitt's awesome, and I'm very grateful and glad that I went there because there was a great group of guys there, and so much talent.
Yeah.
And I think I was the only one from around the area, and everyone else came from out of state. I think
Really?
there's a few others that came in from the in state, but the rest were from the East Coast, West Coast. I mean, they're from all over. It's pretty wild to see at Iowa
Right.
Central at Fort Dodge.
Right.
So
Yeah, when you think of it, you'd be like, I'm sure it's just a bunch of local kids who are trying to kind of go to the next level and just this is their pit stop. But yeah, when you look at the roster, I'm sure it's people from all over the country, which makes Iowa Central special in the fact that like, I mean, they're good. They like that's what draws them in here is because they're good at wrestling, you know?
yeah, and they were very good at wrestling at that time too. I think we just won 5 national championships in a row, and we won national duels. I think it was like 47-0. We beat Nyack like 47-0, and we just this is right here. I got this right here. Got inducted into the Iowa Central Hall of Fame last fall for
You
the
did?
yeah.
Dude,
Which
congratulations.
thanks, it's the Triton Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the '09 team. So we had a lot of studs on that team. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Um, Gosh, that kind of floods my brain with a bunch of questions. So like you're there. Um, I'm just wondering how like how you turned down Iowa for Iowa Central. You know what I mean?
So I didn't have a class that I needed to take. So I was going to take it in the summer to go. And I think something got messed up. They said it was gonna be all right and I could take it there, and then it ended up not being all right. So that's how I ended up there.
Wow. So honestly, I mean, I don't know. Maybe hindsight like that maybe been the best thing that happened to you. Unfortunately, that unfortunate situation turned into a fortunate one.
Yeah, no, I'm very grateful that I went to Iowa Central. I'm glad. I mean,
Yeah.
because my roommate was gonna be Jarrett Cherry. Jarrett Cherry. Yeah, so he was
Mhm.
gonna be my actual dorm room roommate. So, and we were pretty close too all those years. So we, yeah, he was pretty bummed. I was bummed, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it all works out.
Yeah. Did you stay at home or did you go live in the dorms at Iowa Central then?
See, my freshman year I stayed home, and my sophomore year I stayed at the dorms.
Yeah. How did that sophomore or that freshman year go then for you um at Iowa Central?
Good. Just I mean, I was good. Went to school, did my thing, wrestling. Um, yeah, it was good. I mean, practice was pretty intense all the
Yeah.
time. Uh, continuous battles. I think it was my freshman year or my sophomore year. I had Juan Soto came and trained. He won the Mexican League in fighting. I think he just came to train for a few months or a month or so, and Moffat's like, "You get to practice with him for a little bit." It was like great. So he's significantly smaller than me, but I'm telling you what, though, he wasn't just trying to wrestle. He was,
Yeah.
it's jujitsu and which was, helped. So
Yeah. How did the year go wrestling wise?
I did. It was my freshman year. I think I wrestled. It was TJ Mullen all the time from Nyack.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if he beat me or if I beat him every time, but um, it was good. It was good. Yeah, we had a good year. I didn't place at nationals. I got headlocked, and then I kind of went into my own little like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the next year,
yeah. The
huh?
next year I got fifth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, next
At
year I got fifth.
149, I mean, so you must not have grown too much after high school then either, you know?
No,
So,
nope. I think I was like 160 my senior year, and then in college I was about 160, and I weigh like 165 now, so
yeah.
haven't
Um,
much.
good, good. So yeah, sophomore year after you place, you get fifth, which is quite an accomplishment. I mean, did that then lead you to go on and did you wrestle at, I think I saw your name on Wartburg's roster?
I went to Warburg. I was there for 2 years. In school there for 2 years. I
Yeah.
redshirted my what is it, my junior year or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. That's when I started having my own struggles. Think I just turned 21. Um, I struggled. Millboy was always on me about practicing, and I just go through the motions. I drank too much. And that was kind of like my 20s. Was I drank a lot, so I struggled. I ended up leaving Wartburg 2012 and came back and just worked and hung out and drank, tried figuring out what was wrong with me, really.
Yeah. That was me. Only I started about 19. I went
Yeah,
to Iowa and realized like, oh, I don't have to go to class. Like no one's telling me, no one's keep holding me accountable to go to class. Well, then I'm not going.
yeah,
And then I just started to slowly go down that path of alcohol and abused it. And, at times there may have been some other things that kind of came into play, but yeah, it took me, gosh, I mean, there are still times to this day where like uh, there will be a day where I overdo it. I'm like, dang it, what is,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I look back on it now. It's a shit. I'm grateful for it because of where I am now. Um, and I think like now that I think about it, like I'm way more intense now of myself, and like I'm more certain of anything and everything I do
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, Coach Miller, he bring me in his office, sit me down, and I had all the talent I wanted. Had the opportunity, I had great people around me at the time, and he's like, "What do you want to like? What's wrong?" And just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about alcohol abuse. I didn't know anything about AA meetings. I didn't know any of that stuff. My parents rarely ever drank, growing up. So I didn't really see it. I've seen drug problems, but I was drinking a lot. So
Mhm.
and it wasn't illegal. So that was another
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was my own personal struggle when I left there and came back here, and then I went to Buena Vista here in Fort Dodge, finished my education. And my dad worked at John Deere at the time, so I was just like the gopher out there for a long time. And then Luke Saturn calls me up and asks me to help him roof houses. And then I was helping him travel, roofing houses, and all that stuff until I kind of got my feet down.
When did you get your feet down?
I got my feet down about 5 years ago. Um, I was at CJ Bio. It's been about 10 years now. Um, and I still had struggles there, but yeah, 5 years ago.
What's
I'm at,
CJ
so I
Bio?
worked at CJ Bio. It's a biology plant. They make branch amino acids like lysine, tryptophan, threonine. Um, so that's where I used to work for about 10 years. And
Hmm.
yeah, it helped. I just got through it. The people out there, my boss was great, man. It was a struggle. I had a decade of a problem, of a
Dang.
problem.
Yeah, yeah, probably started at 18 and a half, I guess. Like I wasn't quite 19. I got my first DUI. I was an OWI. I was 19. I had just turned 19. Like there was a time where, I had I had not had my license longer than I had it because I
Yeah,
had struggled so much with like just and I wouldn't be I shouldn't say I wouldn't be when I would get caught, I wasn't driving, I was sleeping in my car and it was running, you know. And so that's an OWI. And so yeah, there was a point where like I was 23 and I think like I only had my license legally for like 2 years and I haven't had it for like four. So
yeah,
like, looking back, like I laugh now. It's, I shouldn't be, but like that's yeah, the path I went down. It was not great.
yeah. Some
It was
people, yeah, but um, they say, if someone could give you the gift of sobriety, they wouldn't give it to you, because that would rob you of your journey, you know.
yeah,
And my journey, I had a decade of struggles, but it made me who I am today with the fact of, the upbringing of wrestling and working and then having those issues. And then now where I am now, I'm just trying to fulfill everything that I've, you know, previously maybe suppressed, So, um,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't know, I had two kids. I didn't know what to do. Um, I knew I couldn't drink. It was out of the cards. So I just, I bought some cheap, like $40 Amazon shoes and I just started running all the time.
really,
I didn't have a watch. I didn't care to have a watch. I didn't care. I honestly, all I wanted to do was run enough to exert my body to the point of where I don't want to drink or do anything else. And then I go to meetings. And then I would do that for a while. My mom's like, why don't you do a marathon? And I'm like, what's a marathon? Like I don't even know what that is, And I
Mhm.
was like 29 years old and she's like, I'll sign you up for one, but I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can do it. And I was like, oh, all right.
Whoa.
So she signed me up and I ran it in like a 3 hours and 26 minutes.
So you actually did the marathon?
Yeah, I ran it. Yeah, I ran it like a 7:50 pace the whole way.
That's
Yeah,
wild. Where
without
at?
without a watch or anything in Des Moines. It was great. It was awesome. I had so much fun. I never even knew that stuff existed. I mean, I probably did a little bit, but not like I didn't understand the community, you
Hmm.
know, the community of succeeding in something that you did personally, kind of
Hmm.
like wrestling,
Yeah.
which really brought me back. And I found like a nick, like something I like to do, like a purpose. You
Yeah.
can't drink and run, you're not going to get very far, I promise.
Yeah.
So
Are you still doing that?
I just did Texas IRONMAN in April.
What?
Yeah, so I kind of so I did. So once I found the love for like figured this out, kind of, I'm like I'm figuring it out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Starting to like build confidence in my like who I am as a person, and I'm starting to like okay, if I don't drink for so long, I start to piece things together. I'm starting to get it together, right? So it's like I did five marathons in a year or something like that for like a year and a
God.
half. Yeah, so I did like Osage, Des Moines. I did Vegas and I've done Chicago. And then, I was like, found this thing of like what's a triathlon, and you
Mhm.
have Aaron Jansen out of Emmitsburg.
Yeah.
I think I read an article that he likes to do triathlons a long time ago. And I was looking into it, and I was like, oh, so you swim, bike, and run. That's 3 disciplines. That'd be kind of cool, you know?
Mhm.
Well, I signed up for the Okoboji triathlon. I go up there, and shit you not, I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life. I couldn't swim right. Water was cold, choppy, deep.
Mhm.
I was just out there, just like freaking out, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, bingo, new challenge. Here we are. So now I've been going to the pool went to the pool, I mean, a few times a week at least, swimming. So then I figured out how to swim really well,
Mhm.
and then I did the Des Moines half Ironman and went to Texas this past April and did a full Ironman.
Wow.
And that sucked. It was fun, but it sucked.
Dang.
It's a lot of training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. An
Thanks. Yeah.
Ironman.
We're actually in my I got my bike there. Those are all my medals and my treadmill and all my stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. How do you train for swimming? Especially like, I mean, I don't know, during the colder months, like,
Indoor pool. We have a rec here that has one, and then
oh, nice. Okay.
the high school has a pool as well.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
And you just,
Yep.
what, you just go and you just swim laps?
Yeah. Yep. Just go in there and freestyle laps. 2.5 miles.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds awful, but rewarding. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like it, getting up at 4:30, going to the gym at 5, swimming, going to work, coming home, running. Sometimes it'd be 20 miles, 10,
oh
5.
my gosh.
Weekends, you ride your bike, 5 hours at times, and it's a lot. Reminds you of
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
It's a
Do you
grinding, grueling thing, but it's very rewarding.
do you have any involvement in wrestling to this day?
Um, no, not really. Um, I've had some opportunities to maybe help be an assistant coach. I have 3 little ones, 9, 7, and 5. So pretty busy with them, renovating the house. And then I've been doing my own personal thing with the whole Ironman. But
Mhm.
no, my son, he wants to wrestle this year. So we'll call Cade Lara up and see what's going on. So,
Yeah.
and my cousin's Brody Teskey, he's got a wrestling thing going on here now too, a
Mhm.
club. So
Yeah, that's kind of the blessing, I guess, of like living where you live is you don't have to be involved. You have all these other greats around you that you're like, I don't need to coach you. You got these guys. They'll coach you.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind helping coach and stuff, too, at some time. I haven't gotten there yet, you
Yeah.
know, not there yet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a busy time. Kids are everywhere.
Yeah.
The
What do
one's
they
in,
do?
one's in gymnastics, one's in dance, the other one's gonna be wrestling. And I'm the head coach of my son's baseball team, and we're competitive baseball team. So
Really?
yeah, so we have some really good coaches. We have two of them played college baseball. One of them was a college quarterback, and then myself, the wrestler. So we can be intense at times. We try and knock it down a little bit. Like they're
Mhm.
9, chill out.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're good. I mean, athletics these days for kids is just out of control. It's just insane. I was probably doing cartwheels in the outfield or something when I was Sailor's age, my son. And now the kid, I mean, they're good.
Yeah. Baseball, huh? Hmm.
Yeah, I've always liked baseball. I've
Yeah.
always liked baseball. My brother's, he was a pitcher at Iowa, so I mean, he was a good baseball player. I'm watching the World Series now. Do you watch baseball?
Yeah.
Who you want to
Yeah.
win?
Blue Jays.
Me too. I mean, it's funny because I'm a Yankees fan, so I'm like, I want the Blue Jays to lose,
Yeah.
and then I wanted the Mariners
Yeah. Yep. I'm
to
on the
beat them,
Mariners.
and
Yeah.
now I'm a Blue Jays fan. So here we are.
Yeah.
I'm not a Dodgers fan. I promise you that.
Yeah, just the Blue Jays, it's just they haven't done it in a while, and I'm kind of like that. Like, let them have their shot, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
But what were did you watch your brother then play a bunch, and like did you go to his games at Iowa and stuff?
I didn't. I didn't go to his games at Iowa. I went to a lot of his high school games.
Yeah.
But that was when I was really struggling myself. So, I
Yeah.
mean, when I say I was struggling, like I didn't get in any trouble. I wasn't a bad person or anything, but I just really had issues myself drinking.
It
I
was all
stay.
self-inflicted,
Oh
essentially.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just hang out at home.
Yeah.
You know.
Um, what were I wanted to ask you what the odds were. What was more likely, you to get a hit off your brother or him to take you down? Or if you got like 10 minutes, how many singles would you hit and how many takedowns would you get? Like, I mean,
Me get a hit off my brother.
yeah.
Probably not.
No?
Probably I don't know. We're gonna have to do that. He's coming here
Yeah.
next weekend, and we'll have to try that out. He had Tommy
Yeah.
John, so
Oh,
we'll see. I don't know if he
yeah.
can throw the ball very well anymore. Could probably
Well,
throw it harder than he can.
yeah,
I
you
hope he
played
listens to this
baseball.
and hears that.
You
But
played
he ain't
baseball
getting a
till your
single leg on
sophomore year,
me.
right?
What's that?
Yeah, sorry. You played baseball till sophomore year, so I bet you still got a pretty decent swing.
That was what I wasn't very good at. I don't know what was up. I was a decent catcher. I wasn't
Yeah.
the greatest baseball player, I'll tell you that. But also, it wasn't my biggest. Like, I just went there to play. I
Yeah.
was there to hang out, have
Yeah.
fun. You know.
Yeah.
So,
But you were saying that what, he gets a single leg on you?
nah, probably never.
No, never. Did he
No.
wrestle at all?
He did. He was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, he was pretty good. He quit though, I think after his freshman year.
Yeah.
He was 152 his freshman year. He was a big boy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was big. He was squatting a lot. It's a big pitcher.
Yeah.
He was good at football too. So, but yeah, I don't know.
I would like to
That-
see that. Because like I've
That's
always wondered about that with like like Allison and Doug Schwab. So like Allison played softball in college, and I'm like, I bet I'd like to see a home run derby. I bet you could hit it better than Doug can.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when I saw that your brother played at Iowa, I was like,
Hmm.
I wonder if you could get a hit off him.
Maybe. I bet I could hit it probably off him before he could take me down.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm pretty competitive nowadays.
really?
Almost more than I was when I was younger, which is kind of I don't know if that's normal.
Yeah. Have you picked up like pickleball or spike ball or any of those sports that are kind of really in now?
Um, no, no, no. I really just hang out with the family, exercise, work in the house,
Yeah.
coach baseball, work.
What do you do for a job now? Like, what's your career like?
So I've been building the grounds out at CJ Bio for about 10 years.
Okay.
And actually, tomorrow I start a new position at John Deere, being a salesman. So
Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
so
congratulations. And that's what your dad was doing, right? Or
right.
was he a salesman there or was
He's
he
a
working? He
he's a
was.
salesman for ag. Yep, and skid loaders. I'll be a salesman at Murphy Tractor for heavy machinery, construction equipment.
Nice. You know all about that.
Yeah, yeah. So and at Building and Grounds, we did a lot of construction. So it'll be nice to move over. Hopefully, help people get projects done instead of being the ones doing the projects. So.
Yeah. Wow, that'll be so what I'm just trying to imagine what your day was before versus what it's going to be now. Like how is that going to impact like your life?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot different. I mean, I was going to work and we'd have, do construction at
Yeah.
industrial plants, commercial work. And now, yeah, I'll be more business-like. So
Oh, do you have like a suit and tie? Like a
no
coat?
suit and tie,
No.
but a polo. Close enough.
Polo.
That's as
Yeah.
close as you're gonna get. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I want to ask you here, just this is my own personal because I kind of went through a similar path you did. It sounds like, when was the turning point for you that put you just that got you down the path of recovery or, getting just your feet under you and starting to get down the path of, being just a better Tanner Kampen?
Uh, DHS. I was going to lose my children.
Wow.
I went to rehab at 23 years old. Um, and I knew I had an issue. I didn't know what it was. Uh, I didn't know how to talk about it really. I knew I just needed to get my shit together.
Yeah.
So I went to rehab in Des Moines, um, got out, did not do anything I was supposed to do. And then I missed my grandpa's funeral. And then at 29, I went back to rehab, got out, was going to lose my kids. And then um, the lawyer, the DHS representative said, just give up. You're not going to be able to get it figured out. Uh, you know, you're not going to be able to quit. And then once that happened, I did it. It clicked. I just, got after it. Started going to meetings. I got obsessed. I got obsessed with staying sober.
Hmm.
And through that, everything in my life has changed. Like I went to meetings. I was getting papers signed like I was like a criminal. I mean, I was getting papers signed twice a day, going to two meetings a day. I was calling her all the time. I was annoying her. She was coming over, and by the end of that 6 month span, um, I didn't lose my kids, and she said, "This is why I do what I do. It doesn't happen often. Like,
Hmm.
rarely does this ever happen, but
Wow.
what you did is signifies why I do what I do. Some people think I'm a mean bitch, but
Hmm.
this is why I do it." But through that whole process of her being the way she was and how they were, I mean, I got that click to, all right, let's buckle down and do it, you know? And that's how it worked for me. So then I started helping other guys, other people struggling. I mean, and I still do. I mean,
Hmm.
I'll see people walking. Fort Dodge, has struggles down here,
Yeah.
over here. So sometimes I'll see them from the club, and I'll just talk to them. Sometimes some people just need a bottle of water and talk, you
Hmm.
know, and they don't know it, but me talking to them helps me too.
Hmm.
So I need to get out of my own head and hang out and talk to like-minded people because I know what it could be like. I'm grateful and lucky I'm healthy and doing what I'm doing now. I mean, so that's how, yeah.
No. Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, I remember thinking I didn't have a problem because I'm just doing what everyone else is doing. I'm 21 and these kids are getting hammered on the weekends. Like, so how am I any different than them? Like, why am I looking at myself going, I have a problem? Like, shouldn't they be looking? I kept kind of pointing the finger at somebody else and saying, well, they're doing the same thing. And I didn't, it took me, I don't, man, I have to really think like when I actually did look in the mirror and be like, I think it was so I went to a halfway house. I was in a halfway house for 20 weeks. And I still had struggles after that, but that's when then my mind started to click of like, because people would tell me you don't belong in here. Like, what are you doing here? And it clicked in me. I was like, but I do belong here. I'm doing the same thing. Like, I'm doing stupid stuff just like these guys are. Why am I
Mhm.
here? Because I belong here, like I deserve to be here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And so
Oh
that's
yeah.
when kind of the wheels started to turn a little bit, and they started slowly. It started real slowly to turn, but I remember that kind of being a big factor of like, I got caught with pot once, and I was like, well, it's not that big a deal. And like, well,
Right.
my dad would tell me it doesn't matter, it's still illegal, and I'd be like, bah, and I'd freak out at him, but eventually I was like, it's still illegal. Like, I don't care. I can cry and piss and moan all I want. having a little amount of pot on you is still illegal. So anyway, that's kind of my mindset of what kind of was going through my mind and how things sort of started to turn. It still took a long time and was still a long journey to get here, but you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's still going. The journey's still going. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't be more grateful for honestly, in a way, like very glad I don't drink, like, or do anything, and maybe like just the fact that I don't do it at all. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm always know what I'm doing
yeah,
all the time, um, and it allows me to do other things. Um, but yeah, meetings helped me so much. And my wife, she's just amazing too. She barely drinks herself. She'll drink like half a glass of beer or something and be done because she don't like it anymore. And I'll just be over there like, what the hell?
yeah,
Drink it all.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah. So we got married a little over a year and 4 months ago, and I took her to a meeting Friday for the first time in forever. I haven't been to a meeting in a while, and I took her, and it's just because all the guys are like, "Where you been? What have you been doing?"
Yeah,
It's like you know, not in here.
yeah,
But yeah, it's great. It's been a journey, long road, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
yeah.
Wouldn't trade any of it for anything.
That's awesome. There are times where I would think the same thing. Like, I wouldn't, but I wish there. I wish I didn't have to go down the path I went down to get here. Could I have gone down a different path to get where I am today? But at the same time, like you're saying, like, you know, the perspective I've gained from being where I've been and to where I am now is something that I hold pretty close to my heart, the perspective and all that. So I wouldn't trade it either, even though I wish like I didn't go down the path I went down.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wouldn't trade it because I am here today and who knows. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it opened, going down that path. I mean, that's a humongous community if you're involved in it. I mean, it's just huge, and they all want you to succeed, all of them. You know what
Right.
I mean? And it's just, I see so many people that are a part of it, and it's opened so many other doors for not just myself but others. And I, what's more rewarding than helping someone?
Right.
And that's how the only way you can help someone is by living that path. And it's like I could coach, wrestling. I mean, I do baseball, but like, one day maybe I'll start coaching wrestling again. But it's another path that I'm on right now, and it's just as rewarding.
Yeah.
And I have that itch still because I feel like my drinking kind of maybe I was burnt out of wrestling, and that was a way of escaping it.
Hmm.
And maybe it could have been an excuse for having to quit or do whatever I did.
Hmm.
But I mean, there's other things too. I mean, like I just did an Ironman. I mean, that's if you want to do that, you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other things you can always do, you know. So
Yeah. What do you think, when we started this with you saying that, I messaged you a couple weeks ago, it got you thinking about, your wrestling and all that came with it. What do you think of it? Like when you sat down and you thought about your wrestling and everything that you've accomplished and things like, what do you think?
what do I think of my wrestling career?
Yeah.
I thought when you messaged me, I was like, why is he messaging me? There's, like I listened to Marcus is like he's had a really successful wrestling career. Like, I mean, I guess I feel like I sold myself short. Like I didn't do what I should have or could have done.
Hmm.
Um, but and I'm okay with that. But I mean, some people have really big success stories when it comes to being on the wrestling podcast and all this stuff. But like mine's more of like I didn't get to where I wanted. I didn't do what I really wanted to do. You know, um,
Hmm.
maybe, I mean, am I upset about it? No, not really. It's fine. It's okay. I'm doing other stuff. I have to fill that up with other things. You know what I mean? And that's what I've done. I mean, um, I was interested in kind of like how you thought of me. Like he wants to talk to me.
Yeah,
Wants to
it took
talk-
me a while to find you because your Instagram handle isn't Tanner Kampen. So when I'm searching and I'm like, oh, I wonder what he's up to, I couldn't find you because it's Paul. Why is it Paul Kampen?
That's my middle name.
Gotcha.
I don't have Facebook either or anything
Right.
else.
Yep.
I kind of just stay off it all,
Mm-hmm.
stay to myself
Yep.
much as I can.
Yeah.
So,
How did I think you? Well, for one, like I said, you were in my brother's bracket. And I grew up in Iowa. I'm from MFL Marmac. I graduated from Monticello, but I'm from Monona. So like, yeah, being a fan of wrestling, being in wrestling since I can remember, the age of 5 was my first tournament. You just sort of, there are people out there that you just remember. Like you don't have a reason for remembering them. It's not like they were Nate Moore, but
mhm.
there's people out there that when you think of just wrestling, you're like, I don't know, for some reason, Tanner Campen is just somebody that stuck with you or stuck with me. Like don't have an explanation for it. It's just I
Yeah.
saw your name, I saw you were good, and I watched you.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's sort of the story. And again, like I said, you were in my brother's bracket, and so from there you just kind of keep an eye on, and you're from Humboldt, and I remember Humboldt being they just had a squad, man. Hanson obviously, and the Saturns, and yourself, and Boynton, and the list goes on and on. And um, yeah, it just
Mhm.
so
Here we are.
I like to talk to people like you. Like this has been a good one. Like there's a lot more than my podcast is a lot more than just wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of a touch of both. Obviously, Mark Kiss had a lot of wrestling in there, which is great. But I think there's a lot of people who are going to listen that are going to find this relatable in their own, with their own struggles. May not be alcohol centric, but whatever it is. So I just
Sure.
appreciate you being open and honest and willing to talk about that because I know that's not easy. It took me forever to feel comfortable discussing my own things that I've had happen in my past. But anyway, that's how I found you.
Some,
That's how I got here.
yeah, I don't ever really usually have like I mean, I like to share my story. That's good. It's good for myself and anyone who needs it.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I to keep everything to myself? You know,
Yeah.
if it's going to help someone, yeah, of course I'm going to do it. I want people to get better. If you're not alone, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot more common than you think. Even the normal person who goes to work and doesn't miss work, but the weekends, you know,
Hmm.
I mean, maybe you just want to stop and do something different. I mean, happens. So, yeah, and I haven't talked to a lot of guys in the wrestling community for quite some time because of it. You know, like at Wartburg, I didn't have like a good exit. People were like, "All right, buddy, see you later." I was like, "Dude, I just dipped." It was it.
Yeah.
It was it, man. I had it. No one was happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. I had we had this Hall of Fame thing last year, and a couple of the guys, quite a few of them went to Wartburg with me. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you were at Wartburg," and I was like, "Yeah, I was,"
Hmm.
but I wasn't like a part of the team a whole lot. Like
Right.
I would go and wrestle with a lot of the guys and open mats and practice and stuff, but heck, the year before that at Iowa Central, I won the Wartburg tournament. And then I couldn't even make it to practice on time all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like a pretty strategic. I plan my days. I am a planned person, and that's how I am now.
Hmm.
So as you can tell, you're like, what time? I was like, I got 2 and 5.
Yeah. Yep.
It
Yeah.
is, and that's just how I roll now. And that's something I had to learn about myself.
Hmm.
I think I've grown so much from being 29 years old to 35 now. If I were to look back, you can look back, but who wants to look back and dwell on that?
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot to do now.
Yeah. Um, I'll share one more story with you. Yeah, I was at Upper Iowa. I was there they do like trimesters. All
Hey,
right.
can I ask you something quick?
Yeah, yeah,
So, do you know? So you went to Upper Iowa.
yeah.
Do you know Cole Jasky?
No.
He was the quarterback for Upper Iowa.
Really?
His son's
When?
on my baseball team.
Really?
Yeah.
When was he there?
So I think he graduated from Prairie Valley in 2010,
Okay.
and then went there.
Okay. Well, this might explain why I don't know him. I was kind of your Wartburg story is my Upper Iowa story. Like I went there and thought that being a part of the wrestling team was gonna get me into shape and stuff. And I still wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that commitment. I wasn't going to class. I remember there was this one time, I don't know I think we had drank a little bit before the night before. I don't think it was anything heavy, but the next day I went in and we had weights. And Phillips was like, Coach Ryan Phillips was like, "Have you been drinking?" And I was like, "Me? No." But I had the night before a little bit. And so I just must have still smelled like I don't know, maybe I drank more, but and so that didn't last. I was off the team by, January.
Yeah.
And they made the
Yes.
right decision. Like at first I was pissed. I was furious, like, man, how could you do this to me? You said I needed to pass my classes. I did. I had a C and a D minus, but I passed. And I was like, I did what you told me to do, and you're still not letting me on the team. And I was, it was always somebody else's fault. And
Hmm.
so, like, even recently, I had Grim on a couple of years ago, even, like he did the right thing. I will admit it. Like, I was not a great member of that team, and I did not deserve to be a part of that team. And if they wanted to get where they wanted to, I couldn't be a part of it. And so, um, yeah. So no, I probably don't know the guy because I just was a little turd.
Me too. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure. Same thing for me. I mean, guys want to be like cool and hang out, have a few beers. I just would just be a bum. Just
Yeah.
not good.
Hmm.
Come on,
Yeah.
Tim, let's go practice. Uh,
Hmm.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that sucks. I don't wish it on anyone, but I
Right.
mean, for people who do struggle with it, when you come out on the other end, which is going to take a lot of hard work and sacrifice, you have a superpower with it.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. Special thanks to my guest, Tanner Kampen, for taking the time to sit down and chat with me. Cover art created and designed by Kristen Gill. Please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe to this podcast. And you can also check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and my Facebook page to hear more of my content. And don't forget, check out my website, Let's Talk Wrestling Podcast.my.canva.site. And as always, be sure to tune in to hear the next guest of the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. Take care. See you next time.